so much. Thank you so much and for joining in. Welcome to the fifth and sixth session. Today, I would love to call everyone enlightened energies present here because we know that it is nothing to seek outside. We already are enlightened. Probably we have to uncover or discover this aspect about us that we are enlightened. And once we are awakened to this real one unique truth, a reality that we are the enlightened beings, then the magical life begins. So my dear friends, it's just that we have to, if you ever read the book Illusion by Richard Bach, there he has mentioned a beautiful story about living creatures who are living below the river, and they all like to cling to something. So there are river currents going on, but just because of the fear from that current, they're clinging to the rocks, the twigs below the river. And in that, there was one creature who didn't want it to cling anymore because he's bored of just clinging to things. And he said, I will trust this current and I'll just let go of clinging. And the other creature said, you're a fool. If you will let go, you will be thrashed by the current to the rock. You will be, squeezed, you will die. He said, I will at least not die of boredom. I will at least find out what it is. So he just let go of the clinging. And first, of course, the current thrashed him to the rock, but he didn't want it to cling anymore. So he wanted to give another try. And then the current took him up on top of the river, freeing him from, any sort of things, fear of dying or anything. And then the other creatures below the river said, see, look, there's similar creature above. He looks like a Messiah, he has come to save us all. And he was saying from the top, no, I'm no more Messiah. I'm not the Messiah. I'm one among you. Only that I set myself out of clinging of the same thing, the cycle of fear and things, pressure and stress. You also leave and just allow this adventure to take. Just trust the current it has come. It knows where it is going. So just trust it and just let go. But it depended how many could do that. So the whole beautiful story in this book, Illusion by Richard Bach, just tells about this journey of enlightenment. So, my dear friends, I'll just start with the screen, my topic, energy, upliftment, and effort to effortless energy. So these are the two circles. One is outside of us and the other is within us. The one outside, tells us that I must conform to the world's standards. While the truth is being myself is good enough. Now, this is the truth, but what we have made the truth is what the belief, what the world has set the standards and whether we fit in that or not. But the whole idea here is just the opposite. Fit in your within. Fix your within. Still make the being of the state of being, what we saw in this map of consciousness of creative energy. And just attend from this truth, from the circle of being as truth, just attend the outer world of yours. The frame will be very different. But today, we are putting the frame of being fitting in the world standard, and then with that experience, our inner being is being set. We have to just change the frame. Now, the inner being has to be this creative energy. And from there, look to whatever is happening in your outer world. Just change the frame. This is what being is: enlightenment. There is no other choice. The best ever choice of your effectivity, of your potential, is being in this state of creative energy. Your best performance will come out of this range. Whatever event you are attending, if you are focusing on your downward spiral, trust me, the outcome will be not of the highest potential. Would you agree or not? Probably it will put you in stress, it will stop you, it will create a sense of slowness within you, or give up state, or the effectivity will go down. Maybe you can catch disease. All these things are there in the downward spiral. The best potential a human being can achieve is by being in the zone of the upward spiral. From there, the best response will come. So, being is enlightenment. This is the page. If you can uncover within you this space with total trust, like don't clinch to things which are there in the life, like I feel scared of, I'm not good enough, I feel judged, I feel blamed, I feel left out. Come out of this. Go beyond this. When you will go beyond this, then only you'll be able to open the other dimensions of your life. If you remember the chakras, the first three chakras are just for survival. If you go beyond that, you have to go beyond these triggers. Happy people build their inner world. They build their inner world, and unhappy people blame their outer world. I'll give you a very good example from my own life. So my son, he is in Germany playing for professional football. And this time when he returned back, we had changed a club because he got a very good club in Germany. But we had to reapply for his visa. And his visa has got stuck due to some reason, because we applied in this category of student exchange, but there was a query which came from the visa office that how is it student exchange when the child was already studying in Germany. Just because we were not getting the interview dates, probably that's mistake we did. But today I have asked him if to live from this thought and emotion, the best option we have is that you're already living in Germany. That is the vibration frequency you have to have, that you're playing in Germany. You're thinking like, because all the program we are receiving them from Germany, from the new club. So I said, don't even for a second think that you are in India. So this reality we have to create, so that it reflects someday, that vibrational frequency will match and manifest that in our life to the best extent possible. So this is what I mean, that here within you, the story that you're living is the real story that you're making. But we are distracted from what is happening outside, and we given to understand that as a reality which is happening outside. We don't even try. It's so easy to say, it didn't happen. It is very easy to say. It's the first, we can give up so easily, and we can say that it's a very good, I would say, excuse to say we are not trying enough. So always what is in our hand and outer side is not in our hand, some things. But what is in our hand, you can live. He can live as if he's living in Germany right now. At least that is better than, that mindset is better than, what he would live if he's thinking, I'm still in India, I've not reached there. So you understand the difference. But what now he's making is, he's trying his best not to have any downsides of not being there in Germany right now. And this is what we discuss, the vibrational frequency. You have to match your vibrational frequency to the level which what you want to attract in life. And this reality, your thoughts and your emotions are in your control. Don't make it get influenced by the outside. How it will happen, what it will happen, just leave it to the universe when it will happen. But you have to try the best mindset till the end. This is the best thing in your hand, and this is the reality, because that outlook would change your results outside. If I start to see things from, what has happened to me from outside, my reality would be very different. Probably very not take me where I want to reach. But if I operate from the reality within that I want to create, maybe some months later, few months later than what I expect, but it will come to that standard. Universe has no other option but to grant me that. And this is physics. This is quantum physics. This is not what we are just saying from our faith. This is what has been the truth, which has been discovered by the biggest scientists of the era who have lived here. So you are what you think and feel. Enlightenment is not getting influenced by the outside incidents, but what you create within, and you can always live this life. Who is stopping you? I can be happy. Only my conditioning is stopping me. Only my ego mind is stopping me from living this reality. Let others feel it's whatever they are. If I'm smiling, if I'm happy, let others think, why she's smiling so much? I'm not smiling for them. I'm smiling for myself, for my being, to experience this life in totality. For myself, I'm doing everything. If you see this beautiful picture of Dalai Lama here, sorry for this is when I don't take help of Leela ji. So apologies for this. Yes. The smile is, of course, the world can see the smile, and this energy is being transferred to the world, to people, whoever is seeing this picture. But first, Dalai Lama is smiling for himself. His being is in that state of exuberance, of this joy. And even at this stage, if somebody have spoken a very harsh words to Dalai Lama, trust me, this expression and this beingness would not have changed. And this is the level, because what is in your control is your reality. What is not in your control, you cannot do anything about that. And you will only get tired of, dealing with that. Because it is so many things are in place, people are victims. How can you just take that as truth? Make your own reality, make your own truth. You are the creator. So why I say the enlightened life is a very magical life, because you experience it from the space of a creator, where you create your reality. And it is just like any scientist would have felt when he's inventing things. Trust me, it is magical. So what is the difference? The difference is, earlier, when we are not conscious, when we never thought of ourselves as energy beings, the situation would have come, we would react the way we always do from our conditioning and ego mind, and the outcome will happen. But now things have changed. The situation comes, we have the attention to our emotion and thought, and we choose what emotion and thought we want, and then the outcome is built from out of that. We create that outcome. So here the attention is that consciousness, which is built through meditation, to be there in every moment when situation comes, which is not in what you expected. just pause. Just just pause there and say, what emotion and what thought do I want to have in this situation? And it has to have that upward spiral from always, whatever happens, it doesn't matter whatever happens. Whatever is happening is just a mirror to show you about your inside world in itself. If you are getting angry, that means the anger is still inside you. No one can ever make you angry till you allow them. We have heard all these quotes. So this is the zone, the upward spiral where our choice of emotion and thought should come. Even if in Thomas Edison's case, his mom, if knew that from the school the note has come, which is telling him as a mentally deficient child, but her choice of emotion and thought, what she thinks that his child is brilliant, and his emotion of always being optimistic, and of passionate, of hopefulness, if that is within, then any situation can be turned like that. It might take some time because the universe also have to gauge that whether you're ready to take that situation, whether you are ready for that. So it takes a time, but it gives you that. It gives you. Life is only about where you place your attention and where you place your energy. Just a minute. Yes. So investigate what triggers you. Your trigger are a very good source to highlight what inside of you needs healing and exploring. These triggers have come from lives also, not only this life, not only from birth, from the conditioning that we are brought up. Some triggers are result of many lives that we have come. They are so deep rooted that it needs exploration. They are just a sign for you to stop. And actually, we should be grateful and thankful to others who have given us the situation to highlight something of us within, that what we still need to work within us. So the journey is definitely arduous and long, because, as I said in our last session slide, the subconscious, what is within us in our mind, which has come from the conditioning, has been so deeply rooted that we have to unlearn it. So your trigger will tell you what you have learned, and the sign is very simple. All that is taking you the energy shrinking, emotions, whenever it comes to you, just pause, just understand why it is coming, go to the root, study that, explore that, and then unlearn if it is not working, and relearn the new energy that we now know, which is the joy, love, passion, enthusiasm. You have to reprogram yourself. This, what is the situation, is nothing to do with how you will react or respond. Now, there's very important and interesting thing about ego mind, which is very important for us to learn here, is the two-folding conditioning of ego mind. There is a content and there is a structure. What we mean here is that the structure, we have a pattern. Like once a month, I used to get trigger, a very deep trigger. Only my content would change. Sometimes I would blame my husband. Sometimes I would blame my son. Sometimes I would, that time blame probably some situation in my life. But that trigger was definitely a permanent thing. And now when that trigger used to come, like I have started to work and it is reduced to a lot of extent. But when I started to observe and started to stop blaming others, I said, this is my thing. This is my pattern. I'm feeling now that, he's the reason, or she's the reason, or this thing is the reason, or this place is the reason. But I would now no more blame the outside. And then I just observed just being calm and observed. And whenever it came, I just somehow got my strategies to deal with it. Like maybe I would meditate, maybe I would hear some music, maybe I would allow the time to pass. But ego mind always remember the pattern. Just look at your pattern. What triggers you? You would find there is some connection. This particular things trigger me. And when you will go to the root cause of it, you will understand where it is coming from. And only person that who we need to work is ourselves. The content will change. It will appear that this time it is this time it is that. But the structure, the trigger will come. So just stop this, just tell them that nobody is the reason. I have to now unlearn this and relearn the other thing. Once we become the drishta, the observer, it definitely, loses its power. So spiritual enlightenment is the practice of daily mindfulness. It's a beautiful game, as I said last time. It is the game of life. Every day to be mindful, every moment, how did we respond? What happened to this event? Unraveling, it unravels the past and trauma. There's so many people in life who have gone through very severe things in their life, in their childhood. We don't know what belief system we got at that time, what conditioning of our mind happened at time, what we had to go through to feel, that shame, that deep rooted guilt, that deep rooted shame, that deep rooted anger, frustration, which is like a boil, which we have not freed or expressed. All these things, what we learned that victims and we make others victim have been part of us. But spiritual enlightenment is always acting from the place of love. If we make this one as a philosophy and we then study if anything other than this is happening, it will be a beautiful game of life about ourselves, to know ourselves, to explore ourselves. And to step, now that we are awakened, of course, we have to discover this. It is individual's journey, and it is so unique with each one of us when it happens to us. It takes a lot of courage. As you remember the first session, what is energy? It is the vir. It takes courage to actually just, as you know, in the story of Richard Bach, the fish is let go. Don't stick to that clinging, but we fear. How do we let go? We think, that we have the right to interfere in others' life. All these things are conditioning because this is the way we were brought up. We have to relook to everything. I think it's a lot of things that we have to start from the blank, I would say blank space. And only your clue will be, if your energy is triggered, if it is shrinking, know that you have to do the same thing what you want to do, but in a way where the energy is expanding. Maybe even to a child, have the right to speak in a language which is respectful but not dominating. We all have read that our childs come through us, not for us. So this is just one example. Same with husband and wife. The space, we are like a track, we're running parallel, but we cannot sip or eat each other's plate from each other's plate. We can eat together. So there's so many things, we have been, the way we have been conditioned. We have to relook. We have to unlearn so many things to come to the right sense of what this Brahman, or what is the reason of our existence. What are our true nature? We are no less than the existence. So once we know to always act from the space of the creative energy, as I said, we have to create a reality. These are the steps we begin to work. Every day we increase our knowledge of the right. Ashtavakra Gita is a very good book, and even Illusions by Richard Bach. We must go through to talk about, which talks about the truth in life. it will help us to untangle a lot of wrong myths that we are living a life with. And mindfulness into our daily practice that we have to bring in each moment. Is our energy expanding or shrinking? So living in the present, whenever we are stressed, it is either from the past or the future. But we have to then remind ourselves, oh, maybe I'm going too far. I have to come back to the reality, the present time. And knowledge without application of all these things gets us nowhere. So it has to be applied, living in the present. Now, there's a very beautiful understanding I understood about living in the present. The book which I shared last time, it really changed my concept of living in the present. The book says if you are living in the present, the way you used to live in the past, then your future is no different. You have to live in the present from the vibrational frequency of the future you want to create. As I just told you, that I told my son that you are living in Germany. If you want to be there in Germany, because if that is the very good club and that we are very sure that you have to go there, you have to start living now to, for everything to unfold. So if you want all these energy, all this creative energy we saw, the love, the joy, the peace, you have to start living now, that vibes of being in happy mood. If you start being is the word. From now, that is the future you will be creating, not the way you have lived in the past. You can't live the same way in the present, then you will not be able to change the future. So see the future you want, bring that vibrancy now as if it is happening now, and the universe has no other choice but to provide you that. But the challenge here and the biggest journey is, how do we move from here to there? Are we that courageous, that energy being who can take it? So meditate every day so that your thoughts, your ego mind can sleep and rest, and you use your mind only for the tool, as a tool, not the one which bosses you. Unravel your past traumas. There are some triggers which happens, which are natural, which is beyond your control. Then just be the observer that time and just go to its root cause, understand where it is coming from, and just heal yourself. Adapt your behavior where needed. So these are the steps. Now onwards, each one of us will have our own journey, because each one of us have a very different path, very unique path. So it's us only who will give ourselves the right answers. And the only thing what each one of us can do every day is increase our knowledge. Now, when you will hear any guru or any spiritual gurus or read any spiritual books, you will be able to relate now what they are talking, of this enlightenment space, because the whole world right now is talking only about being enlightened. Now you will understand from each talk or each advice or each mentorship that they are giving, that everyone is asking you to live from your creative energy space, live within, make within your reality. And mindfulness has become the highest mantra for today. To each moment, see yourself and take yourself to the highest potentiality. When all this will happen, believe me, there is such a high energy which is felt. And initially, this transition is so difficult, it's so confusing, because you are used to living in certain way, reacting in certain way, and suddenly actually you are not, you're like, it feels like you're dissolved. It really feels as if you are you are not high, you are becoming gayab, what we'll say, you are just straight. Where are you, what you are, you go through that confused mode. Sometimes the mind suddenly stops and you feel you are lost, because and there is a lot of energy. But trust me, friends, this is masters, this is just the beginning. This is the first step. Sadhguru says, first be. The first step is check your being. Then attend your career. Then attend your relationship. Then attend your spiritual journey. But first, make this being, center yourself in this being. Fix this being of yours. And now go to the world. Now take your career. Now take whatever journey you want to take, your whatever dimension you want to go. But this is just the first step. Now, if this energy is so much there, it is so important, then the next step after this work session, wisdom session on energy, will start your journey to your potential self, because your self will become powerful, but you have to give direction, you have to channelize this by the wisdom and by using the tools either in your career or relationship or whichever field, whatever life you're living, in your purpose, in your service. So this is just the beginning. First, fix this, the being. So also, they say it is the second life which begins. First life, you have got birth from your parents, which was not probably in your hand, or you were like unconscious about that, even if it was in your hand, and you lived the way you were taught. And when you get enlightenment, this is the new life, the second life that you get, which is your earned, which is what is designed by you. And then with this power, with this freedom, with this newness of yours, attend, and now the life begins. This is just the first step. Now take it to the highest potential by managing your energy, by not allowing it to shrink, by creating your reality. Now you have become the Brahma, the creator. You have gone above the three chakras. You have exploring the higher dimensions of your life. And it's so easy to say. And of course, enlightenment has different degrees, when you start and when you, to where you can go. There is no, this is even that is infinite. We know the highest potential as Buddha, but enlightenment begins, it is already there, but once you discover it, your second life begins, and that's just the beginning. With this, dear masters, will today do the meditation of experiencing this being self, this vibes, which we have to live each and every moment of our life. We have to stop judging things outside, whatever is happening as good, bad. Don't label. Stop yourself whenever you feel. Only know that I don't know. This is what they mean. I don't know what this can lead to. I can just express my feelings and then I live up to the surrender to this existence, which knows more than me why it is happening. So let's come to the meditation session, and I will request everyone to comfortably sit. Close your eyes. Okay. Allow yourself to relax. Relax your mind. Make your body feel lighter. Give all your body weight to the surface you are sitting on. Drop your thoughts. Observe your breath. We are trying to come to the alpha state of our brain waves, where we are calming our mind, relaxing fully each and every muscles of your body. Your mind muscles are fully relaxed. Your muscles around your eyes are fully relaxed. Your face muscles are relaxed. You have a beautiful smile in your face. It is reaching to your soul. Let yourself free. Relax your neck muscles. Relax your shoulder muscles. Relax each and every muscles in your arms and your fingers. Set them free, loose and relaxed. Relax your back muscles, spinal rest. Your upper body muscles fully relaxed. Your body below the navel pushing towards the gravity in a relaxed way, and your body above the navel is straight and erect. Don't pull your body from below the navel up. Let the part of the body below navel go in flow with the gravity. Your stomach muscles are relaxed. Both your thighs are relaxed. Your whole body is loose and relaxed. Now all your thoughts, bring yourself fully in the present. Just surrender yourself to the higher energy, to the soul strength, by feeling light, by opening your heart chakra with a beautiful smile in your face. Open smile. Both your crown chakra and your heart chakra opens and allows the cosmic energy to enter your body in full force. Experience each moment of the present with your breath, your comfortable, relaxed breath. As you inhale and exhale, feel with your breath every moment. Dissolve all the boundaries, and you are the existence. You are the infinite potential. The whole existence is within you. You are the energy field. You are your highest potential. highest energy vibrating in this universe in a very calm state by being in the present, living each moment, the real moment, in its full potential. You are ready. Each and every energy of your joy will spread to the existence, increasing the consciousness of this existence, of this Brahman. With each moment of your potential creative energy, you are allowing this Brahman to be more creative and higher conscious frequency. You are no less than an enlightened being. You are enlightened. You are your highest good, your highest potential. I am cosmic potential. I'm just expanding my energies till the whole existence is filled with it. I am a thriving energy being. I am the empty being, no thoughts. In this emptiness lies our full potential. This is the source of energy which is so potential, will be used only when required. Our each word, our each thought has lot of meaning and value. And for the rest of the time, we are the empty universal potential. Like each atom has this emptiness within it, which has the highest power. Let us first experience this emptiness, the power of being empty. Drop all your thoughts. Surrender yourself totally. Just be with your breath. Nowhere to go. No one to meet. Just one with this existence. In a very blissful state. No expectation. No desire. Full surrender. Full relaxation. You have done a lot, and it's time to be in the present in this empty state so that you nourish yourself, restore yourself. Just feel the blissful. Allow this blissfulness to reach to each and every cells of your body. Just feel this blissful. Each and every cell of your body is feeling secure. What a magic that our body is, with millions of cells, is working in such a beautiful coordination. It results the safe feeling, some break for them, some gratitude for them, by just being in the state of emptiness, not demanding, just a space of rest. With this emptiness, spread the blissfulness to all part of your body, each and every cell of your body. Restore its energy. You don't have to spend this energy unnecessarily. Our energies are greater than our wealth. That's the highest wealth. It's the highest treasure, which will bring every other thing in our life. We have to spend it very intelligently. We have to keep it, store it by being empty and blissful. Be with your breath. Just feel each and every word that I say without any thought. Keep your mind relaxed. And this is the state of being that we always want to be in. Feel the gratitude. Feel that blissfulness of gratitude from your heart chakra to this universe for giving such a beautiful life, for giving such a wonderful experience to live this life. Gratitude for all the things that we are thankful about, thankful for making us an intelligent human being with infinite potential. Feel that sense of abundance. Feel the sense of wealthiness, wealthiness of your values, wealthiness of your right thinking, wealthiness of your behavior, wealthiness of what you have achieved from others, the respect, wealthiness for being human, come to this world as human being. Feel successful. For each and every moment. Feel healthy. Feel attractive, fit, and active. Feel that vibes that keep you alive. Feel the divine energy that you're surrounded with. Feel the multiple dimensions that you are here to explore. Feel the strength that you have been given. Feel your worth, it is infinite. Feel the freedom nobody can bind. Feel the smile, the magic the smile brings in life of ourselves. And so we spread it around our existence. Be grateful for so much we have done, and there's still so much can go. Feel the power of this hope. Feel the creator within you. The universe will always give you what you ask for. Every thought you have is like a prayer to the universe. The universe does not distinguish between positive, negative, or unintentional thoughts. The more emotion you direct towards your thoughts, each thought, the greater the attention that you put, the more likely you'll choose that reality in your life to manifest. Whatever you want in your life, the highest good will come when you're always surrounded within the Creator with gratitude. Is the highest feeling of being thankful, of being that joys to have got so much, of feeling the freedom to operate from your true self of blissfulness, of always being joyous. You are not here to be happy. You are happy. You are joyous. You are peaceful. You are enlightened. And you already are all this. You're just playing the game outside. Enjoy the game. You are here to enjoy the game. The moment you become serious, sincere, yes, but serious, no. A beautiful life, a beautiful gift of infinite potential. Just we just trust the existence that has brought you here. It knows where it has to take. Just leave everything to it. Only create a beautiful life with a beautiful reality. No matter what people think, what is important is what you think. And people have there in this world, in this earth, to be their inner true self, which is in their control. and they have tasted the beyond, the dimensions that starts, that dimensions that is so magical, that is worth every bit of. And once you taste it, we only laugh what we were clinging to, what we were holding back ourselves. What it is to be the true meaning of being human. Being human takes you away from your head and more to your heart. When you use this tool of head or brain just for the 2 minutes required, start hearing your inner voice. Start living a magical life. And if you are able to match that vibration, you have become the creator, the manifestor of your own life. You design your life. The illusion that you have to let go is only unfamiliar. But trust, have faith, and lead to your reality. Let your life be created, directed, written, scripted, and acted by your within. Inner is the creator, outer is the creation. You have brought with you nothing. You will go empty hands, only taking this wisdom with you. And whatever you are today, living each day, is also from outside. So, what is the fear of losing what? Where is the fear of coming from? You have to switch on the light of seeking the ultimate reality. We have to be courageous to live that reality. We have to show that there, that enthusiasm, that vibes to be alive in the real meaning. From here on, just smile. Just check if you're smiling every time you're within space, joyous. Your energy is expanding to the unlimited boundary. And this is just the beginning. With this, you master whatever dimension of life you're exploring. Whatever you are operating in this life as the role, in all your roles, enter with this sense of being, untouched by others, not be moved by others. It is your sacred temple within you, at the sacred space. Know who you are. You are existence. Always remind yourself you are existence. You are enlightened being. And operate from there. Every day, take out time for meditation, to become empty, and to go to let the higher energy take over you. Find out time every day to read books, and then Again, see it from this frame of enlightened life. Always be in this present. And this present matches the vibration of your future, of your new future. Your breath is your guide, your breath is your guru, your breath is your master. The gamma waves, the alpha waves, the theta waves, the delta waves are the waves, brain waves which are magical. The theta waves are the waves if we are in stress, if we are unconscious. Always then requires slow down and ask the answer from within. Now bring your attention to your breath. Beautiful standing smile. Your universe is within you. Slowly open your eyes as you are ready. Thank you, everyone, for this beautiful opportunity that you gave me. Trust me, all these time was so beautiful for me, and there were more and more insights which are coming for myself, and I cannot be any less thankful for that. You don't know what we, your energies have given me. So my most heartfelt gratitude to each and every member who attended this. Thank you so much. And I hope that definitely we will meet again. But thank you again for attending this Enlightened Wisdom session, and wish you all the best, a beautiful life, a beautiful enlightened journey of cosmic potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Rituji. Beautiful wisdom sharing, and your presence is, I think, adding stars, glitters to our Zoom sessions. And you have enlightened all of us and remind us that life is very beautiful. Enjoy each and every moment and self check yourself. We have done enough pointed at fingers on others. Now, time has come. We need to look at ourselves, and then we need to just lift our energies. And how you also taught us how to uplift our energies by, remember that, I think Rituji, from the first session to the last session, she was reminding us for the courageous beings. So please remember that we need to always live upper the bar, not the lower the bar. So when you are beaming with your smile, you'll create the aura around you, and it is so magnificent and magical that you'll attract other people also. Like flowers collect nectars, or the bees go to the flowers. So you become like a booming flower. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, masters, it is in our hands how we utilize our life. We do not know how many breaths we are here on this planet Earth. So do not take your human birth very lightly. But do not take it very seriously also, but just aware of each and every moment. Now, if anyone, Neetaji or anyone, or Balraj, anyone wants to share, or Indraji, please, platform to yours. Please unmute yourself. And again, Rituji, I am so, so, so thankful. So thankful. I think I used to say, what shall I do for my group? I do not know, but I think the higher masters sent you here for the Zoom session to share your wisdom. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Deepest gratitude. And such a beautiful smile I'm looking at Vimlaji and Nikaji. Please, that has to be now ever 24 hours. We can nail it here, from within.
No, thank you, Rituji. You have got vast of wisdom with you, your knowledge. And Saraswati Mata is on your tip of the tongue.
Oh God, thank you so much. Thank you for your blessing.
I missed few sessions.
Sorry?
I did miss few sessions, but whatever I heard, it was very interesting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I also want to thank you. Just wanted to check, Ritu, is this the last session with you today?
Yes, on enlightened energy, this is the last session. But yes, as I said, the journey has just begun, because we have to now see what we have to unlearn, what is the trigger. We have to go back and see what is the reason. So the journey has just started, and the journey of creating that new, if we can be that courageous, and if you're really, because it is everybody's individual journey, that enlightenment, that a moment when you realize the difference of the life you were living till now, and now the life which is turning within, that I have for so many years been into this spiritual environment, and it just occurred to me some weeks back, that what it exactly means to turn within, what it exactly means to not live from outside, but from the thought and emotions that I have to create. And that, trust me, is actually a 360-degree turnaround of life. And the energy and then when you experience that energy so much, then comes the challenge. That first, second day, I was just being in my mobile, looking at the reels and wasting my energy. Then I had to take a pen and paper and channelize it to what I want now to do with my life. So this is just the beginning, to be in the being state. This is the being state. And now you have to unfold your potential from here.
I have a question, if I can ask, if that's okay.
Yes.
Today we talked about the ego mind, and then we have to create our reality and creativity through. So I sometimes sit there and I want to create my, new creativity, but it's still my ego intellect that's telling me. So it's still working with my subconscious mind through the intellect, through the ego mind. And I'm finding it, is it through practice this will come?
Yes, it will be, first of all, that awareness to understand, yes, this is the voice of my head, because we know that we don't know everything. So if I limit myself, we have heard this quote, we are only what we think of ourselves to that extent, but we are unlimited. If we think of unlimited, but to believe that, it needs courage. Somewhere our inside stops us. No, we can go only this much. But this is the same human being, your newly elected Prime Minister, Mr. Ritu, who has, crossed, and it's just his belief of being unlimited, maybe, that miracle that he has created, and that power is within all of us. It's only where our thinking can go. We are to that extent. So
yeah, but I understand from Joe Dispenza that we also have to feel it, isn't it? And that's where I'm struggling, because you haven't been there. So how can you feel it? So you're just visualizing.
yes.
So
you're very right. So if you want to be there, as I said, if you want that future, you have to start believing that now, in the present. And first time it will be very odd. It will feel not. But if you do it second time, third time, 10th time, you will be much more convicted. The conviction will be much more stronger than the first time. But and I understand what you're saying, because the journey starts like that only. The first time we feel, what comedy is this, how can I be like that, and why I'm laughing, why I'm smiling, what will this person think, suddenly this girl is smiling out of where. Everything what we do first time is very unusual for us. But if that is the reality you want to create, you won't believe, I was a girl who never laughed. My children taught me to laugh. Uh, they always said, "Mama, you never have a smile in your face." And first time, second time, because I was brought up in an environment where we were like very sincere things, work, and only that. My life was about work and only that thing. And my children, luckily my husband side of family, they are like so expressive, I would say, and we were not expressive from the family I come from. And my children had probably that genes, and they said, "Mom, I will never see you smiling." And that was a very good insight about myself. We cannot have our mirror every time. So I worked in first time, second time, third time. Trust me, it was not easy. It was not very,
Oh,
homely, or it was not me. But today when I see myself, believe me, even if I'm not seeing the mirror, I'm sitting here, whenever, if I'm not smiling, that being of me is feeling something unusual. I'm not relating myself to that emotion of just sitting like that, just out of practice, just because of practice. And that is why we say that the journey is long. So my last session topic was from effort to effortless enlightenment energy.
that's exactly my point, because when you do meditation, if your thoughts are still coming, it's still an effort. So until you drop to that theta and delta level, then you're completely surrendered. And then that's through practice, I believe, is it?
That is totally practice, totally. As Robin Sharma says, and initially it will be messy. You will not be able to relate, but in the end, it will be miraculous. And it is only that we have till now heard all these things, but the first time when we do it, we do not relate so much, and we leave it. Don't leave it. The 10th, 11th, 15th time, it will come, it will imbibe in you. And that's why affirmations also help. And love.
And also group consciousness, because if we are like-minded, then you feel that, kind of energy coming through.
But
if you're alone, it's different.
But we have to actually cross those boundaries of alone and group also, because as we said, the ultimate nature of us, I don't know if you've attended that session where we do not separate ourselves from the existence. So if we do not separate ourselves from the existence, then even, in fact, it starts with, alone can I smile, because it is actually first you're doing everything for yourself. As I'm saying, that you're creating the reality within you. And that energy actually is so explosive that it is now going outside. There was this one picture in the last session where all your chakras are open. The energy is just, exploding outside. And where we are in your survival mode, as you said, we actually have been conditioned, because right from our birth, we are living only that so small, shrinking life. We don't know what that explosive life is. That only from the survival mode, and that is shrinking our energy. We need energy from outside. Now, what we are talking about, we have to expand. Our aura has to expand to the existence.
Yeah, but I'm finding it hard, because if someone is very strong personality, strong energy, has a very overpowering effect for you to then counteract, and say, no, I'm still centered and grounded. And
yeah, that's a beautiful fun of this game, is this only, that when you have only found yourself as reason, you're smiling outside. I mean, I'm still in my journey. As I said, enlightenment has different degrees. Every trigger, what today happens, it gives me a signal, oh, you are still have to work more, you know. But as you said, that's why energy means courageous. It needs you to be courageous, to
Yeah.
be fool. I would say, as you said, you know, sitting alone, practice the smile, practice your openness, practice that vibes that you want to live. I would say, I'll just give you an example. What I used to do is, I said, what is the best moment of my life? What was the best moment of my life? When I got married, when I got engaged, it was a magical moment that I have a partner now in my life. You know, this is a moment everyone look up to. Oh, this has occurred in my life. You know, that moment when you're engaged, you're so happy. When you have a child, it's such a magical moment. You don't, oh, there's a third person, it really happened. But that today is coming because of the reasons outside. But remember that emotions, that beingness of your state of being. Now practice to bring that without any reason. Live every moment without any reason. Why not living that moment, you know, that state of being every time? Just look what the life would bring to you.
Yeah.
But yes, we feel that it's not possible, and that only stops us because we feel it's not possible.
Absolutely.
In fact, people closest to you, you know, you get more affected than people you just, you know, who are distant or colleagues and neighbors. We don't have that much, but people you feel the most, you know, family members, you get affected by their emotions.
But that's what conditioning, what we are talking about, all of our, you know, spiritual gurus says that there is a difference between attachment and love. But so if it is troubling you, means you're attached to it.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yes.
So that is signal, oh, I'm attached. So everything is talking about yourself. All the outside things are only helping you to find about yourself, where you have to work. Because all
The triggers you're talking about.
Yes.
the triggers are the signals which tells us why it is happening with me, you know. So all a religion, like I come from a Jain family, I know in Jainism, I'm a spiritual person, not a religious person, but of course many things are which has been said because of someone who has attained enlightenment, and all this has been said, you know, that anger, uh, attachment, all will trouble you in your life. But because right from our birth, this is only what we've seen, you know, as a family, as a person who have grown up in a family. If the same person would have grown up in a spiritual environment of maybe PSSM Patriji's house, I would not think this way. Then I would think, you know, I would be very clear from the very beginning. So this is the conditioning what we are talking about. A lot of things we have to understand, because what human has been born, what potential it can achieve, is through these spiritual guidance that will, as you said, we get attached so much to our partner also. That in life, as a women, you know, we are
I
so
don't want
dependent on our partner. That, but and those are the times, you know, when someone has this difficult time, that they understand I have to stand on my own feet. That women I'm talking about at that point of time. But why to allow, you know, difficult times to come and then teach you? Most of us learn when we don't have any other option, but have to accept it and learn it to at least live and survive. But why live in survival mode? Why not understand what is to be human? And in spite of all you got, everything, but the principle has to be to live the human potentiality, the enlightened self. Because this is the truth. Everything will definitely move you up and down. but the truth, the seeking of this truth only will keep you stable.
Yes. Thank
Otherwise,
you.
you have to come live after live to learn the same lesson. It's not also that you get away with it. Why not learn? Yeah.
No, that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And nice to have met and, spent some weeks learning everything spiritual wise,
Thank you.
Thank
Rituji,
you.
there is a very good session on ego mind. The 2 slides that I've taken from Miss Saroja ma'am. She's in
Okay.
US, in Australia.
Okay.
Definitely, if Dr. GK happens to arrange this her ego mind workshop in any of your wisdom sessions on Sundays or something, it is
Is
worth.
it available? Is it available on YouTube? I can,
It is, it
play
is.
it.
Yes,
Is it?
it is.
What is it called? What is
I
it
will
called?
share with you, Ms.
Okay, you'll share the link, and then I think it is really late, and Leela ji is raising his hand. Indra ji, do
I
you
just
want?
want to just thank you, Ritu, and heartful thanks to you. So much gratitude. I just come from work, and I join even if it is late. I feel full of energy, and all superlatives to you, and all so much love. And thank you, Rijuji, for arranging this session. You should have actually put this session reminder, because I was searching for the link and I couldn't find it on breath meditation. But lovely. And what I'm doing is checking my energy levels all the time, though the emotions are going up and down. And we would love you to come back and just give us a nudge so that we will be in the path and check our levels as well. So heartful thank you to you and Rijuji and all the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And Leela ji, thank you once again for organizing and doing this recording, which is not in my control. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ritu ji, once again. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, all the
Thank
masters.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Namaste. Atma Vandan.
Namaste. Okay, namaste. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Have a good week.